Bor Gullet.
Bor Gullet. Bor Gullet. Bor Gullet.
Yeah, Bor Gullet. You know, the hideous tentacle monster from Rogue One. When I first saw Rogue One, Bor Gullet was a really interesting aspect of the movie because there was a whole lot of mystery surrounding exactly what was going on here, but the official canon status of all new Star Wars works ruined it for me. Let me explain what I mean. Saw Gerrera tells us that Bor Gullet
can feel your thoughts.
But Saul is also apparently not afraid to use manipulation and fear tactics. As presented in the movie, it almost seems like Saul is putting on an act for Bodhi to get what he wants. He plays himself up as particularly crazed and unhinged to put Bodhi, who is already clearly terrified, even further over the edge. This culminates with Bor Gullet. Saul tells Bodhi that Bor Gullet can read his thoughts and will leave his mind ruined, and the scene changes before we can see what really happens. This open-ended mystery was really compelling for me, and it was the source of a number of debates between me and my friends about what exactly happened in that scene. Was Saul telling the truth, and Bor Gullet is actually a telepathic alien who can do exactly what Saul described? Or maybe he's telepathic, but the whole losing one's mind thing was just Saul being theatrical. Or maybe Bor Gullet isn't telepathic at all, and Saul was merely putting on a huge performance for Bodhi, telling his men to be particularly unreasonable, and then scare him silly by demonstrating that he's willing to basically suck out Bodhi's mind. Maybe Bor Gullet is literally just a disgusting but super affectionate pet. It gets all up on Bodhi with its gross tentacles, but it's completely harmless, and Saul sees its utility in interrogations with people unfamiliar with this kind of animal. Evidence for at least some level of subterfuge on Saul's part is the aftermath, where Bodhi is clearly traumatized, as one would be after a day of being kicked around and generally violated by a disgusting alien creature. He's not really all there, and that's understandable, but he hasn't exactly lost his mind. But here's the problem. Absolutely none of this debate is relevant. The perfect mystery and ambiguity that the movie sets up is all blown to pieces because now Star Wars supplementary materials are all indisputably canon. All of these fun concepts to kick around are completely destroyed because the broader context of the movie establishes beyond a shadow of a doubt that Bor Gullet is indeed telepathic and Saul was indeed telling the truth. There are no extra layers to the scene. As Star Wars fans before, we would still have a lot of wiggle room to play with interesting theories and compelling concepts because books like the visual guides and novelizations were never hard, undebatable canon the way the movies were. Ambiguous details in the films themselves were always up for some level of debate. I discussed this idea in my video 5 Questions I Hope Star Wars Never Answers, but now everything is canon, and perfect setups like the Bor Gullet scene are subject to the finer level of detail that written storytelling typically necessitates. Ambiguity in expressions and line deliveries are canonically elaborated, thus robbing the film itself of dramatic omissions and viewer interpretations that are more common to the medium. Sometimes these extra details can be fun glimpses into the world, but sometimes they can suck the joy out of otherwise cool moments and rob us of our freedom to theorize and ask questions and kind of mutually come up with answers, something that's always been important in any fandom. What do you think? Do you like Bor Gullet at all? Do you think this whole scene was completely unnecessary and disturbing? Let me know in the comments, I'd love to hear what you had to say about this. If you like my videos, make sure to subscribe and share it with your friends. Talking about these things is something that makes the fandom great, and I'd love to widen the discussion. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.